Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Leading Change. My name is Emma, and I've got Gina with me today, and we're going to be talking about performance monitoring. But before I get to all the questions that I've got for you, Gina, can you give everybody an introduction?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me today. My name is Gina Reyes. I am the VP of Claims at Openly Insurance. And Openly, many of you probably have not heard of Openly because we are a smaller startup company. We're in 21 states and we only sell homeowners insurance. So I was lucky enough to join Openly 2 years ago, where I got to start building a claims team from ground up. And it has been a really great experience, being able to just choose everything I get to do, whether it's the technology, build our own processes, hire the right people, just really building a team that works cohesively together and satisfying our customers' needs on a daily basis.
Great. Well, thank you for joining me. And so just like you kind of set a great foundation for kind of the launching point for our discussion. So you guys are a startup. You've had this opportunity to really take a fresh approach to many things. And so what I want to do as I teased earlier in the intro, so I want to talk about performance monitoring. But before we dive into kind of like all of the insights that you're going to share with us, can you talk a little bit about some of the unintended consequences that come from monitoring and what you and your team have seen kind of specifically within the claims space?
Yes, absolutely. So we're a new, fresh company that's trying to do things differently and simplify the whole claims process. So myself and my team, we all came from large carriers. I have 27 years in the industry. And we've always measured adjuster results and frontline manager results based on their individual metrics. So how many claims did you close? How good was your customer service? What is your quality score? What is your cycle time? And over the years, you always see these unintended consequences that, people don't want to help each other because they're really focused on getting their productivity results, or you don't want to take on a claim that maybe has gone sideways or is a little too complicated because you're worried about your customer service scores on it. Instead of doing the right thing and really just trying to help the customer and help the company solve a problem, people are very focused on their own individual results, and you don't see that teamwork, and you don't always see our employees putting the customer first or putting the needs of the company first. So we decided to look at things differently.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I want to kind of talk about as this next conversation. So how have you guys decided to reshape the way that you look at performance and measure this type of activity on your own team?
Yeah, so being a startup, being new, we don't have a performance monitoring or a performance management system yet. And last year, we start thinking, okay, what are our metrics? Because everybody went to the mindset of, okay, this is how you always measure claims people. We got to figure out a productivity. What do we want from them? What do we want? But what was happening is I was watching, because we didn't have individual metrics that people were totally held accountable to. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're measuring performance and we're coaching to results. But because there wasn't that pressure, you saw nothing but people stepping in and helping our customers, helping each other. Someone's on vacation, no problem. I'm going to take care of their inventory while they're out. An agent calls in with a question, no problem. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to take some time with that agent. I'm going to call this customer on behalf of their adjuster, whoever that may be. This claim just got a little overwhelming for someone's tenure. We're going to transfer it to someone else. And I have people volunteering to take it because they want to help the customer. So I started seeing how this was working. And I'm like, I've never seen this in my prior companies. This level of teamwork and this level of, I just want to help the customer and do the right thing by the customer and by the company. And so my team and I started talking about, how do we continue fostering this without getting those unintended consequences that we've all seen in the past? And so what we started to do is we just started thinking about, these folks are really living our core values, and they have the behaviors that we want. They're just really focused on doing the right thing and not worried about their own individual metrics and what their year-end review is going to look like. So as we started thinking about this and really trying to foster this behavior, we really, it just cut down to the point where if you change the behaviors, you fix the behaviors, you get the results. So why don't we really focus on the behavior and less focus on individual results, and let's focus on our team results and how are our team results impacting the company results. So everything we do is we layer up all the way to the impact to the company. So
what I want to dive into, and I think you might be already starting to go there, is what have you guys seen as the outcomes of doing that measurement up towards the company initiatives, and how has that kind of continued to foster your theory, so to speak?
Yes. So going based off behaviors, our results have been excellent. And we just went through, or we're in the middle of our worst catastrophic time that we've had since the company started. From Winter Storm Elliott on December 23rd up and through the month of March, actually April, we still are having catastrophes. We have people just working together, and we have people, our productivity is higher than ever. And individuals are handling their own claims, but they might have an extra hour. They're like, I can help somebody for an hour, and they're writing estimates for other people. They're looking at each other's results. They're looking at their daily inventory and saying, hey, do you want some help? I can help you a little bit today. And we've had the highest volume ever consistently for the last 3 months. Our NPS is the highest it's ever been. Our ALA, our expense results are the lowest they've ever been. And the team's getting a little tired, but they're just constantly working together and trying to do the right thing. Our severities are in a good place. We're seeing very consistent results and consistent behaviors, and very, very few claims, very few DUI complaints. I don't think we've had any recently DUI complaints. We're just getting the results that we want without leading by fear of numbers with our team. And so regularly they know where they stand, but they also know where our company stands and how we're contributing to the overall company results. They're very clear on where they fit into the company and how they're helping the company.
Thank you so much for joining me for the conversation. I love to hear how successful kind of this trial and new process of looking at how you guys are managing things is going. And for anybody that's wondering, Gina and I did coordinate with her flamingo in the background to make sure that we all had a cohesive look for the interview today. But thank you again for joining me, Gina. And for anybody that's watching, if you're not already, make sure that you follow Gina on LinkedIn and follow Openly so that you can kind of keep tabs on what's going on. But Gina and I know each other from all of the conferences and speaking circuits, so certainly follow her so that you can find out where she'll be in the world next and you can hear more of her brilliance. But thank you everybody for joining us, and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Leading Change. If you liked what you saw, be sure to subscribe and come back weekly for more expert interviews on digital transformation, change management, and emerging technologies.